Hello everybody, this is the Johnny Mare and welcome to a brand new series. I'm going to be playing, as you can see, Batman, the video game for the NES. So Batman is my favorite superhero, and he has been since I was a kid. And so I've been a huge Batman fan for a very long time. In fact, the first movie I ever saw in theaters was this Batman movie that the game is based on. The Tim Burton Batman movie with Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson. And so this game is an NES original, and it was one that I owned back in the day, and I quite enjoyed it, although when I was a kid I only beat it one time. Now the game is very loosely based on the movie that I mentioned. The most connection you're going to find is in this little introductory sequence, where it tries to hook the game to the movie. Now it is a Sunsoft game, and generally what they would do is they would make a game before they actually got the license, and then they would try to get the license, and then once they did get the license, they would then fit the game to whatever the license was. And here's your only appearance of Vicky Vale in this game. Well, they were able to get the license for this game. Some other games they weren't able to, like Journey to Silius, which was supposed to be a Terminator game, and of course the unreleased Sunman, which was supposed to be a Superman game. Oh, you want to avenge his parents. Sorry, Batman. But this is a fantastic platformer, and we're going to get right into the game. It has nice little cutscenes in between each level. We start off with the Batmobile here, which I saw at a car convention back when I was a kid, and actually got my picture taken with it. And let's get right into stage 1-1. So here we have Batman. He's animated quite well. We can duck, we can jump, we can punch, and then we can pick up little power-ups that are shaped like missiles that enemies will drop, and that'll allow us to access 3 sub-weapons. But we don't need sub-weapons right now, we're just going to use our fists to punch everything in sight. Batman's fists can break through walls, essentially. Now, as we progress in this game, we will want to switch to the sub-weapons, but for now we can take out most enemies with just our fists. And this guy's going to shoot these really slow-moving projectiles that we can just duck under. Now you can punch most things from a standing position or a crouching position, like these little roving mines on the ground. But some things you're going to have to hit from a crouching or jumping or standing position, depending on what it is. But here are the sub-weapons: the Batarang, a javelin gun, and a shuriken, or dirk. And so the Batarang uses, I believe, 1 pellet worth of weapon ammo. The gun uses, I think, 2. And then the shuriken or dirk uses, I think, 3. So the best weapon, in my opinion, is the Batarang. It's one you're going to be using quite a bit in this game, depending on how you're going to play it. And we'll switch it up with some of the other sub-weapons as needed. Now, we could go up past all of those heatwave flamethrower guys over there. But one of the abilities that Batman has in this game is the ability to parkour or wall jump up the walls. And so we're going to be utilizing that quite a bit. In fact, some of the later levels require you to essentially be a master of that ability. So you want to learn how to do it early on in the game, because you're not going to get very far in the later stages if you can't do it quite efficiently. But here you're starting to see the effectiveness of the Batarang. It does home in on you anyway, not the enemies necessarily. We will have a rocket pack guy here, so we'll throw some Batarangs at him. And there is another one at the top as we cross over a few more of these little roof girders here. And then we're going to drop down to the ground again. Batman can fall from heights of infinite length above without getting any sort of damage. And then we have a ninja, so we're going to stay out of his attention range and hit him with Batarangs to kill him off, and then we will get in and take on our first boss. Now again, the bosses are not really based on movie characters per se. This is Killer Moth, I believe is its name. And we want to switch to our Batarangs and hit him when he swoops down in the middle. There was no Killer Moth in the movie. I'm not even sure he's in the comics. Maybe he's in the comics. This scene, though, I think is in the movie, from what I remember. Having to get into Axe's chemicals, which is the second stage of the game. So this is really the only stage in the game that really connects to the movie. I guess the first one did a little bit because Batman did do stuff in the streets. And there was a scene at Gotham City Hall as well. And we're just gonna punch some robots here. Full metal suits, doesn't matter. And we're gonna dodge these little drips of toxic chemical because they can damage you. And although this looks somewhat easy perhaps to jump across these platforms, if you get knocked off into that sewage at the bottom or toxic material, you're going to notice that your health is going to start going down very quickly because it's very hard to get back on the platforms. We're going to start making use of our batarang here to zip through these guys. But as I was saying, this is kind of the only real level based on the movie, and the later levels are not really, except the last level does have some connection to the movie. Now, unfortunately, unlike some of the other games that are on some other consoles based on this property, we don't get any other types of levels. So there's no shooting levels in the Batwing or driving levels in the Batmobile. We just have platforming, which is fine. It's good platforming. Batman controls very well. His punches are very succinct. There's not really any lag. We could do a little shortcut here, and a lot of people do, to skip up to this little area, but I'll show you what's around to the side if you choose not to use the shortcut. We have this little javelin enemy, and to hit it we actually have to duck down, because if you throw the batarang from a standing position, it'll go over the top of it. But I don't remember there being electric conduits that were exposed in Axis chemicals in the movie. But again, it's been a while since I've seen the movie, since I was a kid. I don't think I've seen it in probably like 20 or 25 years, maybe longer. I do enjoy it, and I think it's a good movie, but it's just not one that I go back to necessarily regularly. But now we're going to start using our wall jump here. Batman does have two different types of jump. He has a heavy or a long jump, and then he has a short jump, or light jump. And then of course he can wall jump. And so if you do a light jump with the wall jump, you'll do a much shorter bounce off of the wall. And if you do a heavier jump, which is to push the button and hold it, then he'll do a much stronger jump that'll send you farther. Ow. And you'll notice that he does not really recoil that much when he gets hit, which can be a good thing and in some cases a bad thing. These are some of the areas where you're going to have to start learning how to use the wall jump, or else you're going to take unnecessary damage. Now you can go up in between these boxes. I like to go around them because I find that if I try to go up, I tend to hit my head, and then I just fall on the electricity there and take damage. We're going to dodge these runner guys by punching them in the face, or the throat really it looks like. And we're going to progress to stage 2-3. We're making pretty good progress here. And we have our first refill station with this drop claw enemy. So we're going to take out the mine, and then if you duck down and punch the little claws that come down, you can get up to 3 icons on the screen at one time, and you can refill on health and also ammo. Now health is the hardest to come by. It is randomly determined. The B stands for bonus points. But we want to get as much ammo and as much health as we can for the boss battle coming up. Now there is infinite continues in this game, so dying is not a huge problem, especially in the early parts of the game, because you do start at the beginning of each new stage. Once you get to the later parts of the game though, the stages become longer, and you do have to start over at the beginning of the stage, so if you die right at the end, you're going to have to redo the whole stage, and that is especially a problem when it comes to the last stage of the game, which is very long, very hard, and does have 2 boss encounters at the end. But we are closing in on the end of stage 2-3 here, and we're going to take on our second boss. Again, not really based on the movie. Do a light jump here, get across these conveyor belts, punch some more enemies. We'll have some running guys here. That second guy always seems to get away from my punches, and then just disappears into the void. But here we are at the second boss. So it has 3 parts. You want to shoot your spear gun. If you shoot it from a standing position, you'll only hit the top gun. But if you shoot it from the ducking position, you'll actually hit both of them and destroy both. Then we want to switch to our batarang, go up to the top left, and take out that little flashing orb by throwing some batarangs at it. Once it's destroyed, drop down, jump up, duck down, and then use your fists on this other orb, and that'll be it for the second boss. In my next episode, we will take on the last 3 stages of the game and finish it off. So thanks for watching, viewers. I'll see you next time. So long. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please press like and leave a comment below. Please also subscribe to my channel and press the notification bell. See you next time.